Excuse me, y'all. I'm gonna briefly talk to you about how to block um, mental leeches, witches and warlocks from taking your downloads. How to block them. Okay. Some of y'all don't realize some people can do telepathy. They can learn your frequency and try to use their psychic abilities to take your downloads. There's people who can do that. There's people who shapeshift emotionally into you so they can get your downloads. There's a lot of readers who do that. Okay, this is why um, don't be like, if you're going to the reading communities, don't be going to the same reader like all year long, because you don't know if they're emotionally shapeshifting. You can shapeshift into people in any way, energetically, behavior, emotionally, socially, and how to block these people who can do that, who are doing that. Okay, there's people who do that. I have a workshop that I'm going to do to teach people how to use their psychic abilities. Psychic abilities do, when you're doing readings one on one, it do require you to do some shape shifting, to step into the other person's metaphysical space to read on them. You can have someone doing that to you if you feel like your downloads are vanishing as soon as you got them, or you're not getting downloads suddenly and you always get them at a certain time, or like right when you get your download, the same person keeps showing up that's always watching you. All of a sudden, they got your downloads right, right when you got it. I have a family member that acts like me, imitates certain things I say, and I noticed that whenever I would get downloads at a certain time of day, they would call me and say, I got this download. So they were like learning the time and the energy I would be in at a certain time of day, and they was just stepping into that energy to get my download. Now, this is what you have to do. You have to warp and distort the metaphysical space around you, like Elon Musk do. Elon Musk plays classical music all day because he's trying to keep people out of his destiny thought energy. So he's not just doing it for his vibration or raising his vibration and for ideas. He's also doing it to keep people from taking his ideas and his downloads. So um, you should consider like hitting a gong a couple times. In the old days, they did have a bell for dinner, they had a bell for breakfast, they had a bell for lunch. Erica Badu has a bell that she hits through her day. She was talking about it like a gong. Okay. When the monks are hitting those gongs, it's not just to push back any hidden energy that's in their way, but it's also to keep us out of their spiritual business. So you may want to get a gong and hit that gong right after you're meditating. Like soon as you end your meditation, like gong. That way, whatever vibration of your thoughts in your meditation is hard for them to, the telepathy person is hard for them to grab. Now, you can also get something that you can click. So basically, after you're meditating and getting a download, you can just have something click, 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 click. You can get those little hand clickers where you're like clicking around you. What that does is it kind of messes with the mental connection that someone has with you when they're trying to take your downloads. Another thing is to not create in the same space. Where you create is where you normally would get downloads. Where you cook at, where you normally get downloads. So try to switch up your cooking. What I like to do is move as I'm meditating, because by my body moving, it's the minds that are connected to me. They're chasing my mind. They end up chasing my mind. They don't have direct, straight access to my mind. So like when I'm in like writing workshops and I'm like getting ideas and downloads, I will literally do this. See, Because while the other person is meditating on my energy to try to pick up something from me, I'm moving. They think I'm sitting straight. So, however you showed up, however you normally show up before you get the downloads, try to change it. Try to change it after you show up. Don't stay in the same consistent motion, because then the flow state of the thoughts are smooth. You don't want it smooth if you want someone out of your head. So you need to consider moving and everything and all of that. Um I'm not talking bad about John Candy, but John Candy was someone that would meditate on other actors' energy and then step into their energy and then take whatever download they was going to get. That's why they called him a scene stealer. Like his other actors were like, he's a scene stealer. When I watched behind the scenes with him, I noticed he was like someone that was emotionally shape shifting into his coworkers. He was an emotional shapeshifter. He probably felt like an imposter when he was by himself, and that's why he had anxiety. Technically, he was an imposter because he really wasn't coming up with his own. He was kind of like springboarding off everybody else's um download downloads. So I'm not talking bad about the man, but I feel like he was someone that was always um letting people show up emotionally, then stepping into those emotions, matching the other people's frequency first, and then thinking deep to be able to get a download they were going to get, and then acting upon it. Um, so what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're not so predictable with the way you act. When someone can predict the way you act, it's easier for them to like do mental connection to you. So sometimes celebrate one type of energy that you normally don't celebrate. So if you're a bold person, sometimes switch to not being so bold. This is going to throw off the people who are thinking about you, who think they know you, so they can get your downloads, who are like imagining the way you are. It's going to throw them off because that's not the energy that you're currently in while they're trying to tap into your mind. You see what I'm saying? Um, so try switching up the way you are. Even try changing locations where you will get downloads. So for example, most people are so used to me um sitting at a table, but notice there's no table here. See? Now, one of the things I realized that helps to keep people out of my mind to not get my downloads is when there are cool, fresh air and outdoor sounds coming in. Like you can hear the traffic, birds, and things like that. So if you're sick of people getting your downloads, consider taking your meditation time outdoors. It could be that you're in such a silent, quiet house that the toxic fairies and the demonic energy is able to pick up a vibration of your download just as it's coming to you. So while your ancestors are carrying the Akashic record download to you, the entities are able to pick up a vibration of it because it's so quiet. Okay, there's no boundaries. You haven't set no boundaries to in your space to protect the vibration from being snatched up by the entities. So you may want to start smoking out your room, like burn something every hour or every 2 hours to smoke the room. That's going to make it really hard for people to connect with you mentally. But you want to smoke around here, okay? You want to take you want to take if you're in a dragon's blood, you could take dragon's blood and you could just go around here, around your around your halo. Okay, the downloads are coming in the middle of your halo and down. Okay, your third eye is reaching up to God, making a phone call, then the answer is coming down here. So what you want to do is smoke around your head, smoke around your halo. Dragon's blood blocks evil. Um, people, somebody that might be trying to cross your boundaries. So, cats have a way of doing things very secret and quiet as they do things. Dragon's blood keeps you to be able to achieve in silence and connect with your higher self, if you want to call it higher self, to get downloads without feeling like something's invading into your space. Now, if you are having trouble talking at times, you can have someone taking your downloads. So you may be getting a download and then somebody take it and then you're like blah, 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 blah. Okay. If that is happening to you, you probably should consider doing a saltwater fast because somebody is possibly connecting with your throat chakra. And so they want what your throat chakra is getting. They're wanting any education, higher education from you. So somebody is taking downloads connected to that chakra, and that's why you're like blah, 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 and coughing and stuff. So to kick them out of your energy, the connection. You could imagine that you're cutting a cord that if someone's attached to your mouth, like if there's any cords there. Okay. I know we like to think the cord is always from our navel is attached to people, but there's cords here. There's micro cords. Okay. If you've been arguing with someone all the time and they're always winning the arguments and you're always drained, most likely are getting your downloads. They may actually start doing angel number scriptures that you're supposed to be doing. It's because they took the download during the arguments. Narcissists will argue with you to switch scriptures so that you have their frequency, they have yours, and then they're getting your downloads. And you're not getting nothing, or you're getting just negative downloads that would have been theirs if they didn't switch. If they didn't switch top frequency from you, your frequency has at least 3 layers to it, like we do. So they then took a top layer of your frequency, switch with you. So if you're getting your downloads taken, you probably should cut back on any useless conversations. Okay, I've been talking for 13 minutes. Remember, I said 20 minutes at the most, y'all. Okay, most manifestations, 20 minutes, 25 at the most. That's even when you're like creating. You get your 20, 25 minutes in, you break. 20, 25 minutes in, you break. And that way you don't quit. If you are quitting for long periods of time and just sitting there thinking all the time of your manifestation, then that you're putting so many vibrational versions of your manifestation out there. That's why people can grab the downloads for them. So act more and think less about it. Your actions matter more than how much you're thinking about it once you have made up your mind to do a manifestation. Most people, they will just think too long about the manifestation and then they're like, how come somebody knew how to get my manifestation? So how come somebody got a download that I should have got? And then it's like you were thinking too hard about it. Now here's another thing. Dryness. If you're dry, if you're bitter and dry, people are going to get your downloads. Like, this is deep. Think about it. When something is dry, you can break into it easy, right? It's all dry, it's broken, it's crackly, So try to stay hydrated. When you hydrate yourself, especially with the dark fruit, it kind of your ability to get your download Your power that gets hidden from people. It becomes more mysterious. So if someone was trying to synchronize their psychic ability with your psychic ability, it doesn't work because you have set up emotional boundaries. Okay, all psychic abilities is connected to emotional flow, emotional well-being. So if someone is like, "Oh, I know your psychic abilities, so I'm gonna do the same psychic abilities because I want your downloads," then you need to actually increase the power of your psychic ability so that you can beat them in it, so that they can't get your downloads. So what I like to do when I feel like downloads is coming slow, I already know somebody's taking my downloads because I'm supposed to get a lot of downloads because of my type of purpose. So what I'll do is I'll start eating seeds, sunflower seeds, to set up boundaries to protect my nesting energy, my earth chakras, and because the earth energy is empress energy, which is massive downloads from the Akashic record room. When people shape into you, they're trying to get your Akashic records, those downloads. So I will literally eat small grain through my day. If I feel like someone's going to take my download right after I get it, I will literally eat a bowl of oats right after I wrote my download down. So, like, I was just working on my book and I was adding little lines to my book. Every time I would add a line to my book, I would eat seeds. Seeds. Type, seeds. Type, seeds. Because someone could be tapping into me and trying to take a little peck of that Akashic record. So when I eat the seed, I'm saying it's all mine. It's all mine. I didn't ate it down. You can't have it. But the seeds are going to also start to build up to be like mountain energy in me. And I'm setting up boundaries, blocking somebody from my Akashic record downloads. Okay. Basically, I'm like steadily building the boundaries. I'm keeping the boundary energy flowing through me. Now, if you're like, but this person will not stop getting my downloads. I done tried everything. As I said, you could do what black people used to do. You could do hoodoo. Now, here's the thing. It's not going to backfire on you because that person is stealing your downloads and your guys then told you. Okay? This person keeps showing up. Every time you're about to put a download, here they come. Here they come. When you don't share your download, they don't have your download. Like, let's say you hide away, and then when you show up, you notice this person does not have your downloads that you had when you didn't show up. But every time you show up with a download, they show up with the download. That's how you right there that they're harvesting your energy when you show up. They don't have access to you when you don't. That's why they're not getting your downloads that you're getting when you don't show up. Okay? Now, if that keeps happening, then you may need to do a form of hoodoo on them. I'm just keeping it real, y'all. You may need to do a blinding ritual on them. Okay? You may need to take their picture and put ashes all over the head part, and with the eyes in the picture, like, you cannot see me, you cannot hear me, okay, you can't think of me. That way you're blocking whatever cords that they have up here that they're connecting with you to get your downloads. You're blocking it through smudging out that part of their picture with sage. Okay, you can create your own way of binding people, okay, who will not stop tapping into your frequency to get your downloads. Your personal way of doing it is, if you're going to do the hoodoo, it's up to you. You can take a picture of them and You could put it in the box in the basement and say, you're in the dark. You're in the darkest place in my life. You cannot see me. And you put that down there, okay? Because sight is connected to thought. Hi, everybody. Now, one way to kick people out of your energy so they don't take your downloads is to stop looking at the people who keep taking your downloads. Like literally, when they're talking, look everywhere. Look everywhere else. Okay? The eyes are the windows to the soul, and the soul is the doorway to your thoughts. And your thoughts is the substance of your destiny, the fate that you're manifesting. So when you're talking to people, stop looking at people. Like, stop, y'all. I'm telling you, looking is a gift. Observation is a gift. You cannot look at people as a godchild and not be ready to bless them somehow. It's like, it's unavoidable. I have blessed my enemies by mistake, by just like vibing with them and talking. And then it's like, wait a minute, how did they manage to get what I was getting? And then they said, my enemies was like, I got this download. God told me this. I'm like, no, God didn't tell you that. I told you that when I was staring into your dark eyes. Okay? We're naturally going to cast light in the dark. So when you're dealing with someone that's dark and you look at them, the rays of your eyes is lighting up their eyeballs, and whatever essence thoughts that is in the light of your eyes is going into their eyes, which is going into their soul, which is going into their mind. And then they say, oh, God gave me this download, but you gave them the download. You gave them the download. Okay. Hi, everybody. I treat looking at somebody more than a couple seconds as a gift. I know that's like, wow, that's vain. No, it's protecting my relationship with God. Women especially need to start keeping their head kind of down when they're talking to people. Women are highly intuitive. When a woman is in humble energy, it's not that she's submitting. She is protecting her high priestess energy. Older woman, especially a woman over 35, is rising to high empress energy, the most enlightening time of her life. This means she needs to start having her head down when she's talking to people, looking at the earth, using her focus on the earth as boundaries to protect her high priestess energy. Okay? Why do y'all think narcissist men love to stare into your eyes? I'm talking to the women, okay? Narcissist men will do this when they first meet you. No, I don't think so. We ain't ready for that yet. Eye gazing is for true love. Eye gazing is only for true love. Okay? When I gaze you, it's because I love you so much that I want you to have a part of my soul essence that's resonating from my eyeballs. I've had people say, her energy is off, it's off. No, what it is I'm throwing you off on purpose because I can sense that you're trying to get into my soul eyes because you want to learn from my soul without my permission to get my downloads. So I will purposely, when I do this, I have people on the channel say, these witches come out of nowhere. Something's off with her energy. No, I threw you off. You want direct eye contact the whole time because you're a witch. Because you're a witch. That's what it is. You want, without me even offering a connection with you, you want to know all my soul business. You want my frequency without us even having love for each other. That's what it is. And I'm doing all this and throwing you off on purpose. I'm speaking about my personal experience with these witches and warlocks. So if you are a woman, especially, and if you're a man that you got a woman with you that be giving you intuitive information, start telling her, saying, honey, I don't want you looking at people out in these streets. Like, for real, if you're a man in here and you have a wife or a woman, okay, women are highly intuitive. They could just get downloads from the way they feel. This is serious. I don't even need a download to come to my head. My gut will bring the download up to my throat. Okay? If you are a man with a woman, you need to tell her, eyes down. Eyes down when we out in these streets. Eyes down. Okay? Okay? Serious. Take control over your woman's eyes. When I'm with my man, I be like this. People, I've had women say, you're a submissive woman. I said, it's not that I'm submissive. I am honoring my relationship with God to respect the abundance that my man has to get through the intuitive energy I'm flowing to him. Okay? When I look at other people, if I look at other man, I'm giving that man the download that my husband is supposed to get. It's disrespectful. Like, women, when you looking at other men and you with your man, you're not giving your man the intuitive boost. Men get intuitive boost from women. Period. This is why they lust for us. They desire our genitals. It's not that they're the vampires, but they get nourished and fed spiritually by our genitals. And if you are a woman that's passing your genitals out here, then you're just saying any old man can get rich. Any old man should get your downloads. That's what you said. Okay, when you have casual sex, you didn't gave the man a download. You didn't gave him some emotional power to get your downloads. Why do you think when you meet up with somebody who you had sex with, they start saying their life is improving, and you're like, how is your life improving when you was toxic and that's why I stopped having sex with you? Like, how is that possible? And you'll notice that they're getting the things that you got. So women, eyes down, legs closed, for the sake of your destiny. Women are destiny energy, okay? And destiny has abundant downloads. An abundant destiny has an abundant downloads. So you abstaining from sex is not just because you scared what diseases are out there, but you're not trying to bless somebody that's dangerous. They might get a download and invent something, and they weren't entitled to it. They weren't chosen for that invention, but you opened the window so they can get in. Hi, everybody. When you see introverts, if you want to call them hardcore introverts, and they don't ever look at people, you ever notice that those people, they seem to live long? They seem like they always have opportunities. See, a download can come as an opportunity. Downloads can come as an opportunity, y'all. This is deep. Okay? Your introvertness is protecting yourself from theft, protecting you from theft of your downloads. So if you're an extrovert, introvert like me, you need to say my extrovertness is for the work I'm going to do. But if I'm out in society and I don't have a man, I have to be an introvert. If I'm just out here, I have to be an introvert if I'm not with my man. When I'm with my man, this is why a man walks in front of you, ladies. So no one sees your eyes before his. No one sees his face before yours. Okay, the reason why is because your face finishes the deal. His is the boundaries. His is the lock to the Fort Knox. Once somebody see your eyes, they getting in. They getting in. Okay, and you're like this. They're getting in. Okay, they might start to sense what your man is protecting of you of that you both have. So walking behind your man is for the sake of both of you. Okay? I walk at least 2 steps behind my man. Even when we stand in John Eagle, we could be in a grocery store. I don't stand beside him. I stand behind him like this, and I just have my hand on his shoulder. I've seen men look at me weird. I've seen women say, "What's the matter with her?" And I say, "Mm-mm." If I see a man stare at me and I'm with my man, I turn my head. Because 7 seconds, he's getting something. Because I'm too high of an empress. I'm too high of an empress. The empress energy is generous. But I don't want to be generous to any old body out in these streets. This is the truth, y'all. Okay? A woman is full of downloads. A man has to protect. See, here's the thing. A man is not always celibate when a woman is. A man is not always not releasing when she isn't. So when a woman isn't, she is collecting downloads when he's not. So that's why women will often get more downloads than a man, and even more abundant downloads. So this is why it's important to, when you have a man, to let him be a shield for you. Okay? Because those abundant downloads that you get is actually supposed to be marketed and publicized by your man, and protected and guarded. But if you're like this to anybody, then when your man comes to you and be like, "What you got for me?" You ain't got no download. That means that you're not really serving your man. Okay? A man offers security to a woman, and a woman offers divine guidance. Feminine energy is divine guidance. Okay? So, if you're a woman especially, stop having eye contact with anybody and everybody. As a matter of fact, if you feel like you ain't getting no downloads, you should probably stop doing on-screen videos for a while. You should probably stop staring in the eyes of toxic people. Family members, start just talking to them on the phone for a while. Be like, I'm going to just call everybody this month because I feel like downloads is coming slow. Somebody is all up in my soul. Like somebody's all up in my eyeballs. Somebody is like thinking of me and thinking of my eyeballs. Like they staring at my face in their mind like too much. So I need to just call everybody for a while. Okay, like the old days. Back in the 1800s, they didn't just always see each other like we can. They had to send letters in the mail, by horse and carriage. I think we need to start being in that, where there's months where we're just not around the people we're always around, or we're not where we always be at, so that we can keep grip on our own ability to get our downloads and, to not lose them. You never know what witchcraft people are doing on you to get your downloads. If you're feeling very intuitive, you're trusting your gut right now, then you probably shouldn't be so carelessly sociable. When your gut is accurate, when you say, I got this feeling, and you do it, and it's accurate, and it's confirmed, that is normally the social part connected. That it would be how people would take your downloads. So if you want to figure out how people could possibly take your downloads, what type of emotional well-being is serving you today? What psychic ability is serving you today? Then 9 times out of 10, if someone is familiar with that psychic ability that you have, then they might synchronize with you in that type of emotional being that's connected to that psychic ability. They will literally synchronize with this so they can feel what you feel and get your download. Okay? So if you're like very intuitive and dead on right now, if you feel like you got family members helping you on the other side, like there's a dead relative that keeps coming to your mind, they're probably helping you on the other side. If giving you this certain feeling so you can get a download from them, that is the time that you probably should cut back talking just to talk. Notice how I'm doing videos a day that actually have an important reason to be up. I'm not doing just ranting, unfiltered, society talking type of videos. My videos today all have a purpose. Because if I slip into just a social energy where I'm just messy, then someone might figure out my emotional flow and then they can get my download. So grounding yourself and pacing yourself and having a purposeful action is still protection from someone taking your downloads. A lot of people are counting on you to be in an emotional state that they're used to seeing you in, because maybe when they were done connecting with you in that emotional state, somehow something was manifested for them. But you can sidetrack them. As a matter of fact, your emotional flow and state really is for your private creations. When you show up in public, you should be in all earth energy only. When you're doing work and teaching people, that's not fun and games. That's earth energy only. See, fun and games make you vulnerable to get your download stolen. The fun and games energy is for you to get your downloads. And it's for you to be emotionally open to get help from the metaphysical world. But when you show up publicly and don't know if these damn witches and warlocks is watching you, all earth energy. Now, every now and then, you may get a little witty. You may get a little witty, get a little funny, but you don't overdo it. You don't overdo it. Okay? I find that one of the most valuable lessons to protecting your destiny and your thoughts with that is what Jim Rohn said. Get serious. Be serious about the work. When you start clowning around and too much in it, you let your guard down. Your boundaries start coming down. Your spiritual boundaries start coming down. This is why kids are so vulnerable to being brainwashed and manipulated, and whatever downloads they got from God being whooped and distorted by the enemy, because they clown around in fun and games all the time. Okay? Fun and games make you share resources. So have fun and games with friends and family and people who love you. Okay, when you have fun and games with them, you're saying, I want to gift you. I want to give you a gift, which is most likely attached to a download. So save the fun and games for people who take you seriously. See? People who take you seriously is worthy of your fun and game energy. They're worthy to have your boundaries down and getting something of what you're getting intuitively. Y'all, this is deep. I stay saying that. Okay? When you're not in action talking, you shouldn't be looking at people either. You know how some people will not talk and they'll just stare in other people's eyes? No. Mm-mm. 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 That's not good. Unless it's your tribe, then you can sit there and stare at the chief telling you stories if it's your tribe. But if it's not, really, I need to keep my eyes on God when I'm not talking. You get a couple glances. I look at you because you're not a part of my spiritual tribe. Y'all, y'all better, I hope y'all donate to watch the other two videos. I put up some videos this week. $7 donations to get the link to watch the videos. These videos I put up today and this week is the bomb, y'all. All right, if you'd like to buy my ebook on finding your destiny and your life purpose, it is $8. You can buy it in the pre-release stage. Please email me and send the $8 to my Cash App or PayPal, and then I will send you the private link to read my ebook. Once again, my ebook for finding your life purpose and destiny is now available to be read online for $8. Okay? By Christmas, it's going to be on Amazon. So right now you can pay to watch it through my VIP link. Pay to read it through my VIP link. Okay? All right. What I find it also helps me to block people from taking my downloads is once I am high and I feel like, okay, I'm getting a download about something, and then the download is coming through and I'm figuring it out, I will literally flip into like gratitude energy and be like, thank you for this download. That way it triggers my ancestors to be like, time to protect it. Gratitude signals you want it protected. Okay? That is also why you give gratitude. I have gratitude for this desk. So my ancestors will protect this. The ancestors do not protect what you don't give gratitude for. I give gratitude for the intelligence that's coming around my head. Thank you, ancestors who are assigned to me in this life. Thank you. Okay, the gratitude energy is going to trigger boundaries. The boundary energy. Now, another way to protect people from getting your downloads is to celebrate real hard when you got the download. When you're like, I don't want nobody to take this download, you need to like get into a Native American dance, dance around with your sage or whatever like they do, praise God, to kind of just like no, so they can't get into your energy. All right, y'all. See y'all later. Thanks for watching. If you want to watch the replay of this video, it will be $7. And once you send me the $7, I will send you the link. You have to email me, and then I will send you the link to the replay of this video. None of my videos are available for free for replay until after Christmas. I have to think about, attracting money. The thing, y'all, if you do everything for free, then you're saying to God, I don't want to attract money. And then you know what that's saying? You don't care for no downloads. Downloads bring you money. Okay? That's what they do. Downloads tell you to do this, do that, don't do this, teach this, say this, don't say that. When you are like free, codependent, and don't care about your own needs, and you're a freebie type of person, then why would the creator give you downloads? I noticed when I started setting fees on some of my videos, more downloads were coming. And there was times I even got more mindful of my energy. So that tells me that you have to know when you've done enough for free. Just so that, because some people, they harvest all your free stuff. And guess what? They're getting your free stuff, but they're also getting your power. Some of your power. So don't always put your power out here for free. Have a week or two where it's like pay for everything. Next week, a couple things for free. Okay? What you're saying to the creator is, until you give me downloads, I'm not giving nothing else for free. See, you do have to put demands on God. I know this is deep. Like God, until you bring some money through here, um, I'm not giving none of my downloads out for free. Okay? See, the creator want you to be a giver. But if the creator isn't being a giver, if the creator is letting other people take your downloads, then you shouldn't be a free giver. You shouldn't be a free giver at that time. Okay? You should be like, no. All right? Once God gives to me, then I'll give to you. That's not being selfish. That's seeing that you are just as valuable as everyone else, and your needs have to be met, or you're no good for other people. If your needs ain't met, you shouldn't be giving out to nobody out here. Like, for real, y'all. Okay? Leave all these charities, heavy donation places, leave that to the people who got all their needs met. Seriously. You pay for something that you need. But I don't do charity unless I'm done using something. Because I still got needs for my destiny. And if I'm too charitable, then I'm telling God my destiny don't matter. Because my destiny is supposed to be giving me money too. If I'm too charitable, then I'm literally telling God, oh, my destiny don't matter. So why would God let me keep my downloads? God would let somebody get the download then, because I don't care about the destiny that goes with the download. Y'all, this is deep. Okay, y'all, I'll see y'all later. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye, everybody. You're welcome. All donations are welcome. You can send donations to my Cash App at Coach V Hunter, or at my PayPal. If you feel like the wheel is not turning in your favor right now, you're like, money is coming in slow, consider that there is something that you need to be done with. When money coming slow, there are downloads that were supposed to give you money, but you either didn't put the downloads out there, or you didn't sell the downloads. Okay, it could be you're the blame for that. You've been maybe a little bit too generous with your downloads, and someone else is expanding on your downloads and getting the money you're supposed to get. All downloads have infinite amount of downloads connected to them. This is why you got to be like, okay, I shared some of my downloads, but these downloads ain't always going to be free. As I said, because they have their own, every download and every part of a download have its own web of other downloads. See what I'm saying? And the longer someone is able to sit with your energy and meditate on your downloads, then they could get other downloads that you were supposed to get that's connected to that download that they got. So let's say you put a download out there and it's a real abundant download, but let's say you didn't know. But the person can see how you were and get your download. That person may meditate on your energy and that download so long that they manage to snatch up a vibration of any other downloads that's in the web of that download. And then you're like, well, how come the money didn't come and I had this download? I put out this download. Well, somebody is hacking that download and getting the little micro downloads connected to it so they can get the money that you were supposed to get. Okay, y'all gotta get ready to go. See y'all later. I talk too long, y'all. Always be quiet more than you talk. That's how you also make sure that you get your downloads before other people. Some people are being more quieter than you while learning your energy. And you're talking and fighting with people when you need to be quieter more than you talk. And that's the truth, y'all. That's why I love writing. Writing don't require you to talk out loud. It doesn't. Writing is actually quiet time. It's quiet time. But when you talk, you're using all three parts of you, mind, body, and soul. So you can get spent up. So basically, whatever chakras that you use in the talk, and you've been talking a whole lot, then they're probably having trouble grabbing the download. The download is probably hovering around you, and someone who's channeling your energy is grabbing it. The download can't go all the way down to you because the chakras are damaged from your endless talking. Y'all, okay, I'll see y'all later. Bye, everybody.